that kind of risk. And it's not an easy thing. I remember instances where we have met people who are very armed like they are going to war, like rebels. They have bullets strapped around them with AKs and pump-action guns, assault rifles of all manner of knives and others. And they are not joking. Because if you meet people who are doing an illegality in a forest about 60 kilometers from civilization, they decided that they were going to kill us and dispose our bodies off. Who will get to know?
Turn around. Turning point. Yeah. He's a turn around. Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran, welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. Today we continue our journey, exploring Ghana through the eyes of people who have chosen to tell the nation's story differently. The whole idea is that if you shifted a little from your own focus and saw the nation through the eyes of other people, you will see a Ghana different from what you see and maybe more inspiring than what you see. Our guest for today is more than qualified to tell the story of Ghana through his eyes. He's been known for his investigative work, especially in the area of environment, and verified with the Millennium Excellence Award for his work. Multimedia's own Erastus Asare-Donkor. Erastus, good to see you.
Great to see you too. It's an honor.
It's a blessing, sir.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about you.
Wow, let's congratulate you for the good work that you do.
Thank you.
You know, it's meaningful, it's powerful, it's important when your work is recognized like the way it was done recently. And so it's a big thing for us here at Springboard to celebrate this achievement. But what does it mean to you as a person?
It's a big deal, and especially when you're doing something that some people think is denigrating the image of others, so they want to hurt you for it. But other people, no mean person than the Otumfuo himself and the Millennium Excellence Committee
Foundation
think that what you're doing is great, and they want to commend you for it. It brings a new surge of energy, a new surge of motivation, and it rings a bell in your ears that you are not alone in what you do, and that people recognize what you do, and so you should keep on doing it. So it means a lot to me, and it has really boosted my morale a lot.
Your work has been shining through for the past few years. I can look back and see different awards, the PAV Answer Award for Journalist of the Year by the GJA. I've seen there's an Emmy Award, quite a number of recognitions for your work. Anytime your work comes up for recognition, anytime your work comes up for commendation, what does it say about how critical the subject you are exploring is?
It tells you that you are touching on an area that means a lot to a number of people. And the masses recognize how important your work is. Issues concerning the environment, I always say, is existential in nature. On this whole blue planet, this is where we stay, Ghanaians. And so no matter where you go, you still come back to this space. You can travel elsewhere, work and get money. You will still want to come back to your own country. This is where you feel you belong. And if you are choking out what sustains life in the space you live, then that is an existential threat. So whoever wants to save that space for you is not just doing his or her job, he's protecting a number of people from a catastrophe or a calamity.
Let me read a quote from Margaret Mead, who says, "We don't have a society if we destroy the environment." It just backs the point you're making, doesn't it?
It does. And in fact, when you look at illegal mining, it takes away, it's like something that is sucking out the life from us gradually. We may not be seeing it because it's not affecting us individually the way we want to see it, but those who have been affected so far understand it when you talk about it. God made this whole earth into a self-sustaining ball. The trees, the air we breathe, the human beings on it, the wildlife and other things, they self-sustain. It's like a cycle.
A cycle, yeah.
And so the pollution, all the things we do to this earth, we have trees and other things, water, rivers, streams and other things that go around to restore it in a way. And so what we are doing with illegal mining is distorting the balance that nature put out there. And that balance means death to us. And unfortunately, many are not seeing it that way. But some of us see it.
Why?
Because, human beings, we are a bit funny. We need to experience it before we appreciate the crux of it. But because it's not affecting us directly, even with our everyday life, you can talk about diseases and you will care less. Until it happens to you, you are affected and you feel the pain, or it happens to a relative close to you. Proximity counts a lot. And so people are not really feeling it because they feel it so far away from us. But when you bring it closer to them, then they appreciate it more. And that is why we decided that previously you could not count on evidential material in the public domain that seeks to tell people that what you're doing is wrong. It was all in a bush somewhere in the hinterlands. And we decided that we need to document it. We need to bring it closer to the people for them to see it.
Who is we?
We is our team. So let me start from 2014 when I decided to go into the environment, issues concerning the environment. And at that time, I was following government task forces into the bush because I did not have a team of my own and I did not have the resources back then. I was just a common reporter working with the multimedia group. And so when government task forces were going out, I wanted to be part of it. I applied to be part of it, be that person. So I started following them. But I was limited. I realized that when you go with the task force, you have to work within their parameters.
Right.
And it limits you as a journalist to independently verify the facts and bring the nuances together. So I felt that why not form a team and operate separately so that we can really do an independent job. I knew it was risky, very risky.
I'll come to the risk.
But
let's talk about the advantages of having your own team, just so I understand.
So I formed a team. I had a drone pilot. I did not have a drone of my own, so I had to rent. And it came at a cost because we have to rent it for a day. You have to pay the drone pilot to be with you for the number of days you are outside. And then I had a camera person who will be filming close to the ground. And I had a driver who will be driving the company vehicle. And multimedia gave me the resources to move around. So initially it was multimedia, their vehicle, their camera technician, the driver, and the only thing we were renting out was the drone and the drone pilot. Then we started going out. It gave me the independence I needed. So when we start, we plan on our own trip. We look at areas we're going to touch on. We're going to talk to community people. We're even going to approach the illegal miners themselves and talk to them. It means that we were not restricted by time, where if you're following a task force, you have to hurry up and move with them. No, now we have time. Sometimes we decided to be on the field for like 1 week, 2 weeks, depending on what we are able to cover. And so it gave us ample time. It gave us the room to operate. And that's what gave birth to numerous reports we have done. And the first documentary we did, Distraction for Gold, documenting the extent of damage to forest reserves, to water bodies, to communities, to livelihoods. And subsequently, we were able to do Poison for Gold, which touched on the health impacts of illegal mining, which had not been done before. And then we started this series, Forest Under Siege. And so far, we've done a Pamprama Forest Reserve, putting it into sharper focus, concentrating on one forest and the impact of illegal mining on that forest, what has been affected, what we've lost, and efforts to reclaim it and all that, putting a spotlight on it so we can. And through that, we were able to bring government's attention to the Pamprama Forest Reserve. Though we've been following up on that forest reserve for a very long time, successive government decided not to listen to us. So 50% of it is totally gone, unfortunately. But thank God that we've been able to stop the spread for now. So far, all excavators that went in recently have been bent. And people are not going there like they used to, though there are remnants of illegal miners in there. And so we've been able to save 50% of that forest. It would have been gone, all gone by now. Now, my latest work is concentrating on the Tano Anua Forest Reserve and the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve, which we spent quite some time protecting that forest, shining light on it. So we are in the preparation of putting that together. Very soon, a whole documentary on those two important biodiversity areas will come to our screens.
Erastus, help us to appreciate, and that's my point of greatest curiosity, just so we can travel through your eyes across the country. Identify various stakeholders, not by name, of course, but in blocks, and help us to appreciate how they respond to your work. So let's see the traditional rulers, let's see the people involved, let's see the miners, let's see the people who have been affected. Help us to, through your eyes, to understand how they respond to your work.
So people have been affected in one way or the other, some positively, some negatively. This whole work was also born out of the kind of complaints I get from people whose livelihoods have been affected.
They reach out to you?
They reach out to us a lot. And now it reached a point where my social media account, my personal number has turned into something like a hotline, Galamsey hotline, where people are calling and sending videos, messages, SOS to my line. And until date, I still have people coming to the newsroom in Kumasi. Some of them travel miles from rural settings to come to our newsroom because they feel that the system itself is not protecting them. Farmers. So I have farmers from various communities affected by illegal mining coming to my newsroom. Sometimes it takes a whole village. The chief, farmers who have been affected, women and children, and they travel that long to come to the newsroom and say, come and help us. I remember a case in question, farmers from Enyinamso, number 1 and 2, on the Nkawie Road. They came to my newsroom one morning. They said, the people wanted to forcibly sell our cocoa farms. We don't want to sell our cocoa farms. So come and take coverage of it, because we know when you do that, government will come to our aid. We followed them. We went, and it was true. They've dug a trench around their cocoa farm because the people do not want to sell their cocoa farm. And when we did the story, I sent copies of it to the DCE of the area and then the lands minister. That was in 2022. Nobody gave us an audience. Nobody. But the people appreciated that we were able to move from our newsrooms to even put the spotlight on their farms for us. Some of them were able to retain their farms. Some, they lost it. When we did the story, some of the illegal miners got scared. They fled. And those farmers in that area were able to, get their farms back. But others lost it completely. I get those calls, plenty of them. And I also get calls from chiefs. There are some chiefs too who do not like what I do because some of them are neck deep in this whole illegal mining thing. Some of them have given out lands to illegal miners to work on them. And the farmers who are affected are not paid anything because the land does not belong to them. They work on the land on rent basis. And so with those chiefs, they do not really like me very much. Yeah. And we also have security agencies reaching out to me.
And what do they want?
Your guess is as good as mine. They need my help. And sometimes it amazes me because when they call, especially the police, I ask them,
who should be calling you?
Law enforcement agencies. You hold the power to arrest and prosecute. I am a common journalist with a camera and a microphone. I have nothing. So why do you come to me? And the idea is that it tells you that there are certain forces behind illegal mining. It is I always describe it as an organized crime, full of a lot of interest, very influential interest from the corridors of power, from chiefs, traditional rulers who are very powerful, from powerful businessmen. And so when you have those kind of people and you are a common policeman on the ground, sometimes life becomes unbearable for you. And so they reach out knowing that they cannot deal with those forces. And so they want us to come in because that's the only language that those people understand.
Which language do they understand? The language of the camera and the lights?
You hold their feet to the power of accountability. And they don't want that. They don't like that. One thing that in Ghana people are afraid of is that they don't want their name to be soiled. Aside that, they are not afraid of anything. They are not afraid of the people. They are afraid of the people when they are being held accountable to the people. And so their names are being brought to bear with evidence. That they don't like. But aside that, they maltreat the people on the ground. They abuse them. They take away their lands. They take away their livelihoods. And nobody can say anything.
One thing I've been exploring, Erastus, is the power of storytelling. Storytelling. Tell me, from where you sit as a journalist, as somebody who does documentaries, how powerful is storytelling as a force for good?
You have to be very good with your storytelling techniques.
Help us to appreciate.
In fact, it has to do with camera work. And I was privileged to have very professional, very well-experienced people with camera techniques to assist me with my documentaries. One, you need certain pictures. I call them talking pictures. You should be able to shoot in such a manner that when there is a video and you put it on the screen, you do not have to add a voice to it or a narration. The video itself speaks and communicates what you want to say. And you need qualified people to be able to take those shots for you. And remember, you're taking these shots under a certain condition which is not favorable. You are in a forest reserve. One, you are afraid. Two, there are people who could be on you at any moment. Sometimes we have to film under, let me say, duress, because there are people who could come in at any time, and they are not just there. They will harm you. And so many of the times my camera guy, I tell him to relax. Relax, you have some few minutes which you can do your work. So you are taking compelling images. If somebody is mining, what image will show or portray what he is doing there to make somebody see why they should be concerned? So what pictures are you taking? If they are mining and they are mining in a stream, how bad does the stream look like? How is it affecting people's livelihoods? Those are the kind of pictures you want to take. If they are mining in a settlement, how bad is it? Is it a bridge that is being collapsed? How are you taking it? Which angle are you standing? Sometimes the problem, as you see it, is big, but depending on how the angle you position the camera and you take it, it will look small in the eyes of your viewers. And so you need to take it from an angle that will really show the glaring nature of it. And all those things come to play. You need sound bites. What kind of sound bites will tell the story better? So who are you interviewing? The selection of who to interview. If they are farmers, how do you tell their story? How do you interview them? At what point? At which part of their farm? How do you follow them? So that people will really come to terms and appreciate the problem. All these things and other things that I cannot, because of time, go into, they come to play in making your documentary stand out. Then the other thing is about the editing process. You need a very good video editor. We come from the field with a chunk of material that you wouldn't need all. You need just portions of it. The selection of which one will tell the story better is also very key. And you need to, as a reporter, you need to sit by the video editor and be able to point it out to him that I need this one here, I need that one here, I don't need this one. This one, I need the length to be shorter. This one, I need the length to be longer for people to appreciate it. And it all amounts to what you want to get, the reaction you want to get from your audience. We put all that into consideration in editing and shooting.
What reaction are you looking for when you do what you do?
I want people to, when we started, I wanted to shock people with the impact of Galamsey. I wanted people to go like, wow, really? And I think I got that with Distraction for Gold. Whoever watches that, even sometimes when I watch it myself, I get close to tearing up.
I was going to ask you, the impact of what you do on you yourself. I've found out sometimes in reflecting with people like you who do this kind of high risk, very intense impact documentaries, that it sometimes can have an effect on you, just being so close to the level of destruction that people are going through. Does it have an impact on you sometimes when you just watch what you have done?
Not sometimes, all the time. I get really sad. At a point in time, I wanted to stop this. Each time I make up my mind to stop, I get so sad that so all these years of work has come to nothing. And then I think about, I look at my small children. I did not give birth early, so I have small children. And I look at them and I ask myself, what kind of future is there for these little ones with this kind of destruction and the pace at which we are going? Mind you, all this destruction you are seeing on a large scale happened just from 2016, 2017 to date. So imagine you give yourself another 10 years with this scale of destruction. Where are we going to be? I go to Chifo Praso, and I see a major river like the Pra, and a number of champagne machines sitting on it, and how murky and dirty it is. I go to Pristia Hemai, and I see that a human being born of a woman has been able to block the entire river, divided it into two, and is sitting in the basin itself with an excavator, excavating the basin of the river and Cobra for gold. And so when I want to stop and I think about all that, quickly I get fresh energy that no, you don't have to stop. You don't need to stop. You need to go on. You may not see the effect of what you are doing, but it may be doing something very good. What if you were not doing this? Do you know where we would have reached by now? It would have been worse than you thought. So keep on doing what you're doing. And then I get up. I still keep on doing it. People think I'm crazy. Yeah, I have people who come to me and say, why is Ghana for you? Are you the one who's going to make Ghana better? Why don't you stop? If you are killed today, your children, I said, well, whether I'm killed today or I'm not killed today, my children will still suffer because that pollution is going to deny them of quality water. It's going to deny them of quality food because we are destroying and it's affecting the food chain in Ghana. Now, research has proven that vegetables grown in these areas, grown from these areas and transported to Accra, some of them do have traces of poisonous heavy metals. And we are still destroying it.
There is only one person who can tell a story that will make me keep quiet and listen to him uninterrupted. And this is the voice of Erastus Asare-Donkor, telling us the Genesis, the Exodus, the Leviticus, the Numbers, and the Deuteronomy of illegal mining. Recently celebrated with the Millennium Excellence Award for his groundbreaking work, especially in the area of documentaries that throw light on what we are doing that we should be doing differently. And today he's here because we want to celebrate what he does and encourage him to do what he does and help build a country that his little children can be proud of and that they can grow up in. This is Springboard, your virtual university. Let me give Erastus a moment to catch his breath and drink some tea. When we come back, we'll talk about the risks involved, the reward of seeing things change, and the behind the scenes elements in this journey of just trying to contribute to this nation building effort. Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful, memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, your advantage.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skills sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Arabo Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Okran A and at Albert N.E. Okran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this amazing conversation with Erastus Asare-Donkor, helping us to travel through his eyes into the communities, into the rivers, into the parts of our country that are being ravaged by illegal mining and other destructive activities. Erastus has been celebrated with the Millennium Excellence Award, and we are helping to unpack his journey, the learnings, and I hope to find out where he started from and how he got into the environment in this part of the conversation. Also to find out the risks and are there rewards sometimes when things turn around as a result of his work. This is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group and the Ghana Grows Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. So let me give you that enterprise advantage tip for this week. And the question is, why do you need a personal pension plan? The response from enterprise is that retirement is a period in your life where you no longer have the luxury of earned income. And so whether you're in the formal or informal sector, an individual retirement plan ensures that you have an added advantage that offers you a means of financial stability and security. This is brought to you by the Enterprise Group. Their number 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. Also to give you the Ghana Grows call center or customer service line, just so you can find out exciting things that young people are doing in the area of agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. The number is 030-8255-775. 030-8255-775. Just reach out by text or by WhatsApp or call and find out some exciting things you can be part of if you're a young person aged between 15 and 35. Our agribusiness venture of the week is ecasco.co, and this is just an effort here at Springboard to encourage anyone involved in the agribusiness and ATVET sectors by just throwing light on your business so people can patronize it, and this is all done for free. So if you are listening, ecasa.co is a Ghanaian-based brand that uses ready-to-wear fashion to transform the corporate and everyday lifestyle through kente. So every piece begins with a woman, her loom, and a legacy passed down through the generations. So if you are listening and you are interested in heritage, craftsmanship, and the strength of women building together, ecasa.co is the place to go. Call them on 020-8905-233, 020-8905-233, and just patronize a Made in Ghana business so somebody can smile because of your patronage. My guest for today, Erastus Asare-Donkor. Let's go back. How did you get into journalism, Erastus?
From childhood, I loved literature.
My mother was a literature teacher. My mother.
Your mother?
Was a literature teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our house was full of books.
No wonder. My mom was a teacher, but not a literature teacher, but I love to read. I read all manner of books. Not one particular form of books, but a whole lot. Anything. I love reading. I could read a book like this within 3 days. And at a point, my father got annoyed with me because I was spending almost every time reading books. And he didn't like the kind of books I was reading too. Some of them adventure series. And so I love to read, and I wanted to go into the arts. Right from childhood, I did not know which part of the arts I wanted to move into. But as I grew at the SS level, I wanted to do journalism so bad. For one reason, I did not like injustice. I don't. I'm one person. I don't like people to be treated wrongly. And so I wanted to have a platform, a voice, to be able to champion the cause for people. At that time, that was my mind. And so I remember I wanted to do journalism so bad. My father said, no, you have to be a doctor. He put me to a science class. I remember I came out of the science class and he got so angry, so I had to go back to the science class. I did science.
Our level?
SS level. So I did physics, chemistry, biology. But deep down, that's not what I wanted to do. So finally, when I grew up, I got out of senior high school, I decided to enroll in a journalism school. And at that time, there was a private school in Kumasi, the Academy of Business Administration. They were preparing students for the ICM UK. So I did, and I got some diploma in newspaper reporting and broadcast journalism. Then I said, I would like to practice. In fact, at that time, things were not good financially. My dad is somebody who want to, educate everybody in the family. But at a point in time, I think things were not so good financially. So we had to individually help ourselves. So I was working and taking up courses at the same time. I went to Capital Radio, did my internship there. I rose through the ranks to become a reporter, senior reporter, news editor, morning show host. I was hosting a number of programs, Your Health and others, at Capital Radio. But then still, I wasn't getting what really I wanted to do. I was looking for, action.
I guess right.
I think you know me. Yeah. I'm not that type who want to sit behind a desk. No. I love adventure. I want to go out.
You read it in the books when you're young.
Yeah. I wanted to experience things, you see. And I have so many questions in my mind that I wanted answers to. When I get to see a problem, I want to go deep into it. I want to get to the bottom of it. If I don't understand the problem and I'm not able to bring out solutions, I really don't like it. And I'm a thorough person. When I take something up, I want to get down to the last bit of it. So I think that is what got me into the environment field. I started listening to news. I'm somebody who follows every form of news, whether odd, no matter how small, because I believe every information counts. Then I was following illegal mining. At that time, it wasn't as bad as, even not close to how we are seeing it today. Then I was getting information from people. It's so bad out there. They are destroying the forest. They are doing this. They are doing that. They are doing that. but we are not seeing pictures. Why are we not seeing pictures? When you ask people who have been to the field, so where are the pictures? They say, no, we do not take pictures.
Why?
It's either one way or the other. Phones were not so, the day we have, everybody has a smartphone these days. It was not so common at that time. Few people had access to that.
Around which year?
That was 2014.
Okay.
And cameras were not also as common as we have them today. And so the excuse was that, no, we did not have the right gadgets to take pictures and all that. So it got me to a point where, okay, then we will have to go to the field ourselves and do this. So when I heard in 2015 that the Regional Security Liaison Office was getting soldiers out there to drive away illegal miners, I said, count me in. I want to be part of this. It was risky, but I wanted to be part of it. So I got part of it. We went in for the first time. I saw the devastation, and I was like, wow. One scene that will never leave my mind. We went to a village, and a whole forest. They pulled like 400 trees down.
Wow.
And they had not harvested the trees. They dig a pit, and they put the trees in, put soil on top. It got me so hungry. Like, carpenters need the wood. So even if you are destroying it, why don't you bring the lumber home so that they can use it? I thought it was as easy as that. So it got me more interested. The more I went back to it, the more interested I got to dig deeper. And that's what gave birth to me forming my own team, going into the field, doing these documentaries. And at that time, too, I was following Ashawan, the Galamsey Queen. In fact, some of us were the ones who really followed her to the point, did series of reports until she was arrested. And we had to follow her to communities where she destroyed a lot of cocoa farms. The people would take her to court. She would not even appear in court. She had the backing of the security agencies and all that.
We'll talk about the relief. We'll talk about the risks as well. But let me quote Franklin D. Roosevelt that says, "A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people."
This quote is in my documentary, Forest Under Siege.
And I'm in the spirit. We were spirit to me.
You are in the spirit. He couldn't have said it better. Like I told you, all this we are seeing, the trees, the air, the water, the wildlife, they all have a role to play. Even the bees. Bees are very important. So when you destroy the natural habitats, you are distorting the balance.
And your father took you to biology class to understand it, and you ran away. What in the hell? You are telling me about the ecosystem. Your father took you to biology class and you ran away. Erastus Asare-Donkor yesterday helps me to understand the ecosystem, the environment, and the biology of it in the class that he ran away from. But this is really interesting, Erastus. Let's talk about relief. Have you ever gone back to a community where you threw light on their on the work going on there and felt, Erastus, this is what this whole thing is about?
Yeah, we've gone back to some of the communities. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, I was in Samraboy in the Western region.
It used to be a very major timber.
In fact, the Samatex company, which is a timber firm, is the one that holds the entire Samraboy local economy in place.
Yeah.
They supply electricity.
I grew up in Tadi, so I know that.
Yeah. They supply electricity to they have a hydro plant over there, which is deep within the Tano River, and that provides electricity for the town. They treat water for the entire town. And recently, because the Tano is so polluted, they are not able to treat the water. They've dug boreholes, rather.
Wow.
And so I went back there. We had done a lot of work there. The company reached out to us, other community people also reached out to us because some of them had their cocoa farms being destroyed by illegal miners. During 2022, 2023, 2024, the government did not listen to us. But recently, the IGP, Mr. Tete Yohunu, has taken active interest in that area. I'm so grateful to him because he listened to us. He called me one day and said, well, you've been talking about Samra Boy, we want to take some action. I said, bless you. That's what we want. And true to his word, in fact, he sent a team there. He's been rotating the team. And so far, they've cleared all the illegal miners along the Tano River.
Wow.
I won't be surprised if very soon, if he continues like that, we'll see the Tano River clearing. And he's done a lot of work in that area. The people are so grateful. So we went back to the community to gauge the mood there. And the people have helped us. You've really helped us. The company itself is happy. The workforce for the company, for some years now, they've all gone into Galamsey. And they've left the timber firm. Yes, about 50% of the workforce left the company because they felt the money is too small. They're going to chase Galamsey, and they were destroying the land. Now the IGP went in there, drove all of them out, and they've come back to the company to work.
Do something productive.
Yes. It means that when we do the right thing, everything will fall in place. You see, greed is also part of this whole thing. You see, the people were getting money. They were getting their daily bread. They were farming in addition to the job they were doing at Samatex. But they wanted more money. And they didn't care whether it was going to destroy their very existence. They were doing it. But when they were stopped, they've come back to what they were doing, which was giving them, money that would sustain them. So I think that sometimes we should also look at that. If we do the right thing, we will be sustained. It wouldn't be up and above what you think you should get.
Right. Let me talk about the risks involved in your work. You alluded to it yourself earlier on when you mentioned that, it comes with risk.
Yeah.
Help us to appreciate some of the risks that you go through to bring us the stories that we watch and applaud and even give you awards for.
Yeah.
Take us behind the scenes to show us some of the risks you have to deal with.
So my team and I, when I say we knew the risks, it's true, we know the risk involved. The risk involved is not something that you go and come back. You can die anytime. You can die anytime. We know that we can die anytime. Because when you look at the pits that these people work with, we have seen bodies in some of the pits before.
Wow.
Whether people intentionally threw them there or they accidentally fell in the pit. Definitely, these are not people who come from the area, so their relatives will not search for them. And they are dead. And I keep telling my people that could be us. Because if you meet people who are doing an illegality in a forest about 60 kilometers from civilization, there is no network there. If not by the grace of God, and they decided that they were going to kill us and dispose our bodies off, who will get to know? So it comes with that kind of risk. And it's not an easy thing. I remember instances where we have met people who are very armed like they are going to war, like rebels. They have bullets strapped around them with AKs and pump-action guns, assault rifles of all manner of kinds, knives and others. And they are not joking. One particular area, Datano, close to Samreboy, when we reached the illegal mining entrance, they had decorated the entrance with bullet shells. And the guy who was standing there was like a rebel soldier. He asked us of our mission. And we said, we are journalists, we are investigating the effects of illegal mining. He said, we don't do journalism here.
Wow.
It's either you turn around and go, or you face us. I said, we are not here to face anybody. So we turned and we left. We went to a different area and we looked at how we could fly the drone and get the shots from there, and we did. So we look for alternatives, alternative ways of doing things, getting the information. Sometimes I remember a time we planned to go to Seshwimrewa, where there was an illegal mining operation within a forest there. It's still going on as we speak. And somebody I know came back to tell us that the people have planned to kill you guys when you come. So don't come. So we decided not to go. Instead, there was somebody in the area who had a drone. So we asked that person to go there and film the devastation for us. So we look at alternate ways of getting the story. We have been detained in forest twice.
By who?
The first one was in 2022 when we went to the Apamprama Forest Reserve. When we reached there, deep within the forest, there was a settlement. And the police people started searching the wooden structure. So we saw military uniforms and other things, which signified that there were military personnel in that area. Then before we could say Jack, there was this young soldier who drove a Tundra vehicle to the environment and started making calls. He was not happy that we were searching through their things. So he called somebody on phone. I asked the camera guy to be filming. So he was, all this while he was filming. Then he spoke to the other commander on the phone and said, there are some policemen and some media people here. So then within 15 minutes, the whole place was crawling with armed military men, paid with the taxpayers' money, based in the forest, protecting a miner who was destroying the forest. Can you imagine that? More than 35 of them. Fully armed. This pickup will come and then more military men will get that. I was shocked because for a moment I thought, is there a war around this place or something? Because how come somebody like that, a private individual, even Anglo Gold Ashanti will not get that number of military personnel armed to be protecting him? So I was shocked. It certainly must belong to somebody who is very, very, very powerful. So they came in, they said nobody should move. They disarmed the team we went with and then released all the Chinese and the other illegal miners we have arrested. And they kept us in the forest for more than 5 hours.
Wow.
At a point, we had not drunk anything, we had not eaten, I was very hungry. And I asked the driver to park the vehicle well. They attacked the driver, punched him severally in the face, smashed the windscreen of the vehicle, pulled the mirror out. And they were wrestling with the camera guy for the camera. And at that point, a voice spoke to me in the head and said, resist it and tell them you are moving. So I just told him, nobody is stripping anybody naked. And I told the policeman, we came with you, you are government security forces, and you have allowed these people to take over and look at what they are doing. Nobody is stripping anybody naked. We are leaving. If they want to kill us, they should kill us. I was fed up. I was hungry. I was angry. I was everything. I told my driver to get in the car. Started, let's go.
And they allowed you to leave.
Oh, God allowed us to leave.
This is a conversation that could go on for the next hour because Erastus tells a story with so much conviction, with so much determination, and with so much passion. You know what? If you haven't gotten anyone to see Ghana through your eyes, be assured that today you've gotten one person who sees the nation through your eyes.
I'm grateful.
Erastus, take a minute to tell Ghanaians what you want from us.
I need your support. We've been doing this thing. My company has been sponsoring it. It's expensive. For now, they cannot keep on sponsoring it. So we keep writing proposals to NGOs and others to give us money to continue doing what we're doing. Some well-meaning individuals help. We need support from people. We need money to be able to go out, to buy fuel into a vehicle. We even need a vehicle that can, a 4x4 vehicle that can go out anywhere. We need cameras. We need gadgets, body cams that could record.
When will Erastus Asare-Donkor be happy?
I'm always happy.
With what is going on, what would make you happy?
What will make me happy is to see our rivers restore themselves again. What will make me happy is to see that people can now use the streams and rivers to irrigate their farms and get food for all of us to eat. And that we are mining responsibly even if we are mining the reserves, we are doing that responsibly and sustainably. That will make Erastus very happy. And I think it's not Erastus alone who will be happy. All Ghanaians will be happy.
Erastus, my final quote for you is from Richard Rogers. He says the only way forward, if you are going to improve the quality of the environment, is to get everybody involved. On that note, I want to say a big thank you to you for coming to Springboard, your virtual university, and to make such a forceful, compelling appeal to the whole of Ghana.
Let's get on board.
So help you God.
Thank you.
And so help us God.
So help us God. Let's get all of us involved.
Thank you so much,
It's a collective
brother.
thing.
Thank you. I celebrate you again. Erastus Asare-Donkor of the Multimedia Group today tells us a compelling story about the effect of illegal mining and how if each of us could put in a little more than we are doing, we could engage our environment more sustainably and ensure that generations after us, including his lovely children, again.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
This has been Springboard, your virtual university, brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. My name is Albert Okran, saying, let's all get on board, and God bless you, and God bless you.
Turn around. Turning point. Yeah.